everybody. My name is Lauren Fisher, and on behalf of Publicis Group, I'll be talking to you today about international negotiations. So picture this. You walk into the boardroom, and you're giving your pitch for a negotiation with China and Indonesia. Do you know what to do? Do you know how to interact, how to speak, how to present yourself? So today, that is what I'll be presenting on. At first, I'll describe different aspects of cross-cultural negotiations that will come into play and be very important when considering negotiations. Next, we'll look at the United States negotiation layout, then France, then Chinese, and then Indonesia. So differing aspects across cultures include your goal. Are you going to come to a contract, or are you looking for a relationship? In the United States, we tend to look more for a contract. However, in China and Japan and other Asian countries, they look more for a relationship. Next is attitude. Are you going in with a win-win attitude, or are you going in with a win-lose attitude? For a win-win attitude, you're going to be more collaborative, work as a team, come to a consensus together. However, with win-lose, you're going to be more in it for yourself. You're going to be more competitive. Next, we're going to look at the style. Is it formal or is it informal? This comes to dress, comes to speech, how you address each other, and how you present yourself. Next is time. High sensitivity versus low sensitivity. Do you want to lay all your cards on the table, get business done, time is money, or do you want to work your way into it, form a relationship? Next is emotionalism. Are you going to be more emotionally invested, or are you going to hide your emotions? Be more formal, be more professional with it. However, and then the next one will be agreement. Are you going to come to a general agreement? This comes more with relationship, like China and Japan. Then you come more to a general agreement and rely on the relationship to be the backing. However, in the United States, you come to a more specific agreement. You want to lay out what to do when this, and this happens, whether or not it actually does happen. So first, we're going to look at the United States. Here's a diagram of the United States. The United States, time is money. So therefore, they want to lay all the cards on the table. Everything's going to be laid out. You're going to know what to do, when to do it. It's going to be rational, logical, and you're going to come to a clear consensus. Everyone's going to know what to do if something happens, whether or not that thing is likely to happen. Next is France. Here's a diagram for France. France focuses on logic, rationality, more logic, and then they use the imagination to back up logic. So use your imagination to reinforce your logic and your rationality to come to another clear consensus. Again, France wants to know what to do when and if something happens, whether or not it's likely to happen. Next is Indonesia. Here's a diagram from Indonesia, and theirs is a little bit different. Respect, respect, respect. All of it is about respect, especially towards older folks. You want to dress appropriately, you want to address people appropriately. And Indonesia, they tend to ask the opposing argument first. They want to hear your side before they present their side. Then once you present your side, you'll kind of adjust their argument to what you presented formally or previously. But then all this politeness leads to ambiguity in the end. So no one really knows how it's going to end because you're just so polite that no one really says what they actually want. Next is China. Here's the negotiation chart for China. The Chinese, it's interesting because the negotiations are actually behind the scenes. So in the meetings, it's more informative. You get to know each other, you build your relationship. The negotiations don't actually happen in the meeting, they happen behind the scenes. And again, with China, it ends in clarity. They want to know what happened, what to do if something happens, and they want everything to be clear and concise. However, also the main goal of the Chinese, as well as other Asian cultures, is to build a relationship. So they're going to be less time sensitive. They want to get to know you, know about you and your company, form a real relationship. So that's it for my presentation, and at this time, I will open up for questions. Yes?
So going to Indonesia with how they use respect is kind of a big thing.
Right.
And you mentioned that sometimes a lot of stuff doesn't get done because people don't want to, I guess, offend people.
Right.
So then, I guess, how do they ever break through that? And
I think that, I mean, from the chart that I was looking at and the article that I was reading, it's more like no. You're kind of just like stepping around everything because it's so respectful. It's just very ambiguous. So I don't know if anything's ever really figured out. I think that'd be a hard negotiation to come with a consensus. Yes.
So in that case, maybe you want to acknowledge like your differences.
Right.
Because it's so ambiguous.
I think in that case, you would want to be more open, be like, okay, I don't quite understand what we're coming to here. Can we maybe further discuss this? Because obviously you don't want to end a business relationship being like, well, I don't know what happened there. So you want to be very communicative in a situation like that, definitely. Any other questions?